Hey YouTube. So I'm chilling out, hanging out with my family for a bit, and I thought I'd step outside and puff on this here cigar. What I have here is a black cherry Robusto Delicioso. Now the company that makes these fine cigars is Delicioso. It's a Robusto size, and the flavor, like I said, black cherry, can't go wrong with that. That is a good cigar, YouTube. I'm liking that. Having a cigar to celebrate California. They just recently legalized the weed for recreational use. So that's awesome. It means, what it means is that we're progressing in the right direction. To move that cigar label up. There we go. However, people like Jeff Sessions just make me sick to my stomach, YouTube. What is it with Republicans? YouTube, what is it with Republicans? As soon as it comes to an issue they care about, they preach states' rights all day long. But when it's an issue they don't agree with, they go against it. Like typical hypocrisy of the Republican Party, am I right? Like YouTube, seriously, when it comes to an issue Republicans care about, when it comes to an issue that Republicans care about, they'll preach states' rights issues all goddamn day long. But when it comes to things like cannabis, they're like, oh no, you can't do that, blah, 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 blah. Even though Obama said, hey, leave states alone. Well, typical, like when it comes to issues Republicans actually care about, they preach states' rights issues all day long. But as soon as it's an issue they don't care about, or that they hate, or that they disagree with, they'll literally go against what they just said. It's so typical. That's a good tobacco cigar, YouTube. I'm digging that. Of course, I love black cherry Deliciosos. They're delicious. And that's what gets me about Republicans, YouTube. Republicans love money. Oh, yeah. Seriously, it's like a dog. When you say you want a treat, the dog goes, huh? It's no different with Republicans, man. As soon as you mention money, they're like, huh? Oh, money? Ooh. You think Republicans could swallow their pride and their reefer madness bullshit for just 1 second to like wake up and realize that cannabis can make our country a lot of money. And what people like Jeff Sessions don't realize is that literally between 2016 and 2017, Americans spent $53.3 billion on cannabis in just 1 year alone. And I tend to think if any Republican had that kind of moolah in their back pocket, they'd be like, well, no, I can't smoke in my parents' house, so, out of respect, I'll just step outside, puff on my cigar. And, I suppose while I'm puffing on my cigar, I'll make a video and bitch about the things I can't change as usual, right? You know something, YouTube? Marijuana has so much medical potential. It's unreal. Medical potential aside, YouTube, marijuana could make our country so much fucking money. This country's broke. People are losing their jobs. The economy sucks. We owe China money. You know what I'm saying? Like, it just, I don't know. Now imagine if cannabis were legal. There'd be way more. I guarantee you, 53.3 billion in just 1 year. It might even 1/3 double that, like by 1/3, if it were legal. It's like 40 degrees outside right now, which, you know, that's doable for me, you know. A couple of crows flying by. Smoking a good cigar to celebrate, like I said, California just legalized marijuana for recreational use. Now, if I had the power, YouTube, I would make it so marijuana is recreationally and medically legal all over the world. I wouldn't just have it in the good old US of A. If I had the power, I would make that shit legal all over the world. I can... Fucking crows. I can guarantee you that if marijuana were legal all over the world, there would be less problems in our society. Like, people wouldn't give a shit about fighting over oil, which country has more nukes, you know? Seriously, because at the end of the fucking day, it does not matter which country has more nukes. You know what I'm saying? Because it's irrelevant. The effect of the nukes is all the same, YouTube. So it doesn't matter which country has more nukes, because the end result is still the same. You know, it's bad for the environment and shit. Oof. But seriously, YouTube, if I had the power to make marijuana legal all over this miserable planet, I'd do it in a heartbeat. There'd be less wars. People wouldn't fight over gas and oil. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, kudos to California for making that big move. Now we got like, what, 8 states that are completely recreational and like 20 some odd states that are medical. So, yeah. Yeah. Hey, Mom. That's the thing I don't get, though, YouTube. Republicans love money, and they're against cannabis legalization. That's the biggest oxymoron I've ever known to exist. You know? And if you think about it, YouTube, alcohol prohibition failed miserably. Miserably. And with cannabis prohibition, you're seeing an exact mirrored effect with, you know, you're seeing a reflection of alcohol prohibition with this cannabis prohibition. As soon as the alcohol became legal again, they taxed it, they regulated it. Marijuana is not a gateway drug, YouTube. No, that's bullshit. When you lie to kids and say, don't try pot, it's bad for you. How could something that cures cancer, treats arthritis, diabetes, multiple sclerosis, and a bunch of other shit, how is that bad for you? have to pardon the shaking. I'm a little cold, but I'm dealing with it. You know, and as soon as kids go into a party and they're peer pressured to try pot for the first time, yeah, they'll try it and realize it's not as bad for them as the man said. You know. Yeah. Yeah. I'm just saying, though, YouTube, Jeff Sessions needs to back off. That's all I'm getting at. I'm tired of it.
She's trying to chop my head off. She's a rotten kid. Shit, Grudger. So, punk.
Nothing.
Hanging out, being cool.
Yeah, hanging out, smoking a cigar, you know. But yeah, I'll be heading home here in about an hour or so. I've been watching, every time I come over to visit my family, we get to watch Stranger Things on Netflix. And it's a pretty good series, YouTube, if you ever get a chance to check it out. That was my dad that you heard in the camera just a couple seconds ago. Although we can't prove it. For all we know, it could be the mailman's kid. But nah, YouTube, I just wish that Jeff Sessions would leave marijuana alone. Like, this country's broke. We owe China a shit ton of money. People are losing jobs left and right. Okay, and the fact that marijuana has a lot of medical benefits, and chimos and sex offenders and what have you are getting less prison time than somebody convicted for a minor pot possession. It's ridiculous. You know what I'm saying, YouTube? Taxpayers' money is what pays for people to be in prison. You know what I'm saying, YouTube? So, like, people are like, oh, well, then how do they afford to house inmates and shit like that? That's easy. Taxpayers' dollars goes towards keeping prisons up and running and that sort of thing. That being said, you know, me personally, I don't want my hard-earned tax dollar going to imprisoning non-violent drug offenses. That's bullshit. But yeah, when I found out California legalized it for recreational use, I was like, fuck yeah, break out the cigar and celebrate. Even though I'm stuck in Wyoming, I can still celebrate because it's progress towards the right direction. Like I said, YouTube, if I had the power to legalize weed all over the world, I would do it in a heartbeat. There'd be no more stupid wars over oil and gas. No more pissing matches on whose country's got more nukes. I'm tired of it. Because at the end of the day, it does not matter which country has more nukes. The results are still the same. Disastrous and shitty. Like, why should Mother Earth suffer because two countries are pissed at each other? You know, you gotta think, those nukes don't just affect Mother Earth, they're gonna affect your neighboring countries too. You know what I'm saying? And really, that's what it is, YouTube. It's a pissing match between countries anymore. You know what I'm saying? It's a freaking pissing match. Oh, my country's got a bigger army than your country. Oh, yeah? Well, my country's got more nukes than your country. I know with the U.S. and all over the world leaders have this thing where they're like, well, certain weapons can't be used during warfare. You can't use light blinding laser guns to fight your enemy. So I can respect that, you know, when it comes to war, there are certain weapons you can't use. Well, why not add nukes to that list of weapons you can't use? Seriously. Brr. But really, I don't have a whole lot of power in changing things, YouTube. I'm just a 26-year-old autistic young adult living in Casper, Wyoming. So, you know, I don't have a whole lot of power on certain things. Yeah. My magical powers only go so far. Now, I'm not wishing ill on Jeff Sessions, but I would ask Jeff Sessions to put himself in someone else's shoes for a second. Imagine being a veteran and you have PTSD from fighting in war. And the fact that our troops can't even smoke pot because it's illegal. If our troops try to smoke weed for their PTSD, they get thrown in prison for it. That's fucked up. That's a hell of a way to treat our troops, isn't it? They come back and fight for our freedom, and they get PTSD from fighting a war. They try to smoke weed for their PTSD, and they get thrown in prison for it. Like, fuck off with that. Do you think if our fine president, Mr. Donald J. Trump, had the opportunity to have $53.3 billion in his back pocket, oh, he'd jump for that like a dog jumping for a treat. Trust and believe. But between 2016 and 2017, like I said, YouTube, between 2016 and 2017, Americans spent $53.3 billion on weed in just one fucking year. Holy shit. Now imagine if marijuana were legal, taxed, and regulated like alcohol and tobacco. Now there's a reason why it's illegal, because Big Pharma is bribing our government. That's exactly why. Because of all the wonderful medical benefits that cannabis has. I mean, this plant has so much medical benefits, it's not even funny. So many medical benefits that it would put a lot of people in the Big Pharma out of business. And when it comes to curing cancer, chemo treatment kills more people than it saves. And that's one industry, that is just one of many industries that would go out of business. You know? And when it comes to curing cancer, marijuana saves more people than it kills. And chemo treatment does the exact opposite. Now, if I could get a medical marijuana card for my Asperger's and my cataracts, YouTube, it'd already be done. It'd already be done. But alas, it is still highly illegal in Wyoming. There are some products, like we have some CBD products that they're selling. That's a good start, but, you know. That's what gets me about Wyoming. It's a Republican-run state. You know what I'm saying? Like, Wyoming's broke. Oil field workers are losing their jobs because oil's drying up. So what's their solution? Well, let's raise the prices on cigarettes. Let's raise the prices on alcohol. Let's cut programs from schools. That makes a whole lot of sense, doesn't it? No, not really. And when your state is so broke that you're going to cut programs from schools to make room in the state budget, and when they cut programs from schools because the state's broke, a lot of the programs that get cut are extracurriculars like art, music, and what have you. And honestly, I think kids, they need art class, they need music, they need a creative outlet to express themselves when they're in school. Haha. Freezing my Asperger's off for a video just because I love you guys that watch my videos. Don't even think twice about that for a second. But like I said, I'm not wishing ill on Jeff Sessions. I'm just saying it would be some seriously ironic shit, YouTube, if Jeff Sessions got a disease that only marijuana could treat. That would be some ironic shit, wouldn't it? Because here's Jeff Sessions. Good people don't smoke weed. Oh, really? So according to Jeff Sessions, good people don't smoke weed. That's funny because I didn't know Bob Marley was a bad person. I didn't know Willie Nelson was a bad person. I didn't know Cheech and Chong were bad people. I didn't know that Steve Jobs was a bad person. Oh yeah, Steve Jobs smoked pot. How do you think he came up with his ideas? Yeah. He had to quit though because, you know, the scrutiny would have killed his career. I can guarantee you, YouTube, if Jeff Sessions would have smoked pot when he had his cancer, he would have survived it. He would have had a better chance of surviving it. Oof. It probably wouldn't be as cold, but that little breeze that blows by YouTube, that's what makes it cold. Yeah. Go ahead and pop that label off. There we go. Hey, you guys. Hey, you guys. But no, on a real note, that black cherry delicioso robusto cigar, that's delicious. To quote Pink Floyd, have a cigar. Oh, look, there's Gothic King Cobra bitching about the drug war again. I'm sure people get tired of me saying it, but I'm sure people are like, ugh, you sound like a broken record already. Yeah. And I'm going to keep bitching about it until results happen, you know? I'm going to continue using my rights to freedom of speech and freedom of expression on YouTube. I'm going to continue to bitch and complain about this drug war until results start to happen. I'm tired of it. I'm tired of this country being broke. I'm tired of people being jobless. Because when you legalize cannabis, holy shit, all the jobs that open up, all the jobs you create, especially in areas of the country where there is no jobs. Oh boy. Also, my keyboard's working again. My keyboard on my computer randomly started working again last night. I decided to register it finally. That's weird. After a couple days of my computer just saying, I'm not going to read your keyboard, out of nowhere, it just decides, oh, I want to cooperate again. Technology's weird, YouTube. But yeah, I'll upload this video when I get back to my place. I don't want to burn through my cell phone data uploading videos. It's much easier just to plug it into my computer and upload it to my desktop and then go from there. You know what I'm saying? Did you know, YouTube, that marijuana can be used to treat Alzheimer's disease? Oh yeah. Marijuana can be used to treat Alzheimer's disease. Didn't know that, did you? Huh. Yeah. Yeah, YouTube, cannabis can be used to prevent and treat Alzheimer's disease. There was a study done by these scientists in Australia, and the study concluded, YouTube, that marijuana can be used to prevent HIV from going full-blown AIDS. Yeah. When you got a plant like marijuana, and the research they did in Australia, they discovered that cannabis can be used in treating HIV patients, and it helps them from getting full-blown AIDS. That's incredible. The fact that cannabis has that much power. You know what I'm saying? I mean, yeah, if cannabis became legal, a lot of people would quit drinking and quit smoking tobacco. Me? Nah, not likely. Now, the way I look at it, if cannabis became legal, why would I care about getting cancer from tobacco and alcohol when the cure is legal? You know what I'm saying, YouTube? I mean, come on. Yeah. There's literally a circle of states surrounding Wyoming. North Dakota just legalized it for medical use just recently. Colorado below Wyoming's legal. Nevada's legal. Arizona's legal. California and Alaska are illegal. And this is what gets me about it, YouTube. The federal government is going to step in and try to enforce their zero tolerance stance on marijuana. Now that California just legalized it for recreational use, now the federal government wants to step in and try to enforce marijuana prohibition, which basically means they're going to try to shut down every dispensary they can. And I'm like, dude, come on. I would ask the question, is the federal government retarded? Because they could tax it. They could regulate marijuana like they do alcohol and tobacco. Instead of fighting people on it, the federal government could be making a little extra money. But they don't see it like that. They're like, oh, reefer madness, you know. No, but the fact that pedophiles and sex offenders get less prison time than somebody convicted for a mild pot possession, it pisses me off. Because the only thing stoners want to rape is a bag of Doritos. You get what I'm saying, YouTube? Like, seriously, they get the munchies and all they want to do is pig out. You know? Ridiculous. It's like, why is the federal government waiting until California did their thing? You know, why is the federal government waiting until California legalized it? Why didn't they try to step in when Colorado did? Oh, wait, they did. The federal government tried to step in when Colorado legalized it, and they failed because Obama was like, yo, leave the states alone. Hashtag Miss Obama yet? Oh. I'm being serious, YouTube. Hashtag Miss Obama yet? It's only a matter of time, YouTube. As soon as the federal government fails on trying to fight the resistance, because the resistance will fight back. Kind of like in Star Wars, if you think about it. The big bad government is like the Empire, you know, the dudes running the Death Star and shit. And the Jedi and all them people are the people trying to fight that. Metaphorically speaking, it's the same exact thing. And this is what gets me, YouTube. Donald Trump talks about, oh, I'm so rich, I love money. You know, he talks about how rich he is, how much he loves money. And here's Cannabis smacking this retard right in the face, saying, hey, legalize me and make some money, you schmuck. Is he going to do it? I don't know. If Big Pharma keeps bribing Trump, if Big Pharma keeps bribing the government, then not likely. But here's the kicker of it. The money that marijuana could make our country is way more than any stupid bribe that these crooked politicians are taking from Big Pharma. Oh yeah. The money that marijuana could make our country if we legalized it and taxed it is way more. The amount of money that marijuana could make is way more than any legal bribe, or illegal, depending on how you look at it, that Big Pharma or Big Tobacco or the big alcohol companies could give any politician, period. But, yeah. Anyways, I've said my piece. The cigar is just about done. Yeah. I give a shout out to the Ash Cigar Store, downtown Casper. The Ash Cigar Store, downtown Casper. They have a beautiful selection of tobacco pipes, pipe tobacco, cigars, accessories, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. Well, anyways, this is KingCOBRAJFS back at you with another video. Casper's favorite autistic. Just kidding. And thank you for watching. And yeah, I'll catch you cool cobras on the flip side.